Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of the HuskerOnline Show. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut. We are live here at the Zipline Tap Grill in Fallbrook to a packed house. And let me tell you guys, we did this last year in the South Lincoln location, and they weren't ready for us. They're ready for us tonight. Yeah. Packed house. I mean, just the crowd that's here tonight, it's amazing.
Sean gets very excited.
I do.
For good reason. The vibes are high.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We really do appreciate it. It's good to walk into this. We do. We really appreciate it.
Well, I want to say a few words. Zipline, our title sponsor here of the show, as they host 4 of our live shows per year. They are in the stadium, so you can get the dear old Nebraska brew in the stadium. And they also just came out with their Red Label IPA just for football season. It's their Green Label IPA, but it's crossed out to a red, and it's going to be available in the falls. And they'll have that as well in the premium and club sections of Memorial Stadium, but you can buy that in stores thanks to Zipline. And this is also the place to be on Friday nights. They have the pep band here. They play on Friday nights before home football games. So a great place to go on the patio, hear the band, get into the game. So after the win in Kansas City, hopefully you're back here for the Akron game on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into it, guys. Opening headlines. The hay is kind of in the barn. We are essentially a week away from kickoff, if you can believe that. We'll hear from Matt Rule tomorrow, on Friday, which will be kind of his regular Monday press conference. We're kind of on a little bit of a different schedule because of the Thursday night game. But you just get a good feel about this right now. The offense, I think, loves where they're at right now. The defense, I think we all agree there's questions that need to be answered, but the special teams should be markedly better in a lot of the areas as you look at this team heading into Arrowhead.
Well, there's been no real drama. I mean, we've covered preseason camps where there was a lot of drama, and sometimes it's just a matter of injuries. I mean, we've covered camps where there's very dramatic injuries, critical injuries. There's Gibson Pyle went down. Markway. Yeah, Mac Markway.
That's not major.
Not really. They haven't had anything that's you would classify as devastating, anything even approaching that. So that's been good. And there hasn't been any, let's face it, I hesitate to mention it, but there hasn't been arrests or team drama.
Still got a week.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, I've been covering it since 95. I've covered a lot of drama. And so it's
Mayhem Mondays, as we now call it on the show.
So there hasn't been a lot of that, which is good, and that usually helps.
Yeah, in this situation, boring is a good thing. The focus has been on football, and even that, like, they've kept things pretty guarded. You know, I think there's just a couple position battles that we're still kind of awaiting official word on, and hopefully a depth chart will happen soon since we're entering game week here. But beyond just kind of like who's going to be the tackles, who's going to be the number 2 running back, like, it's a pretty established group at this point. Now, really the only thing left to do is go prove it on the field against a live opponent.
Well, and I think Matt Rule in year 3 understands this place a lot more. He understands how to control the information, how to kind of manage everything as he's learned a lot about it. But, you know, they've also improved this football team considerably. And you feel that just in his voice. I think there's at least 8 starters that are going to come from the transfer portal on this roster. 8.
And I imagine that will be the case most years.
Yeah, you're going to basically go all in every offseason on whatever your holes are. And it could be 4, 5, 6 positions where you spend a good chunk of your rev share or NIL money to get whatever you need. And this year it was Dane Key. It was Desan McCullough. It was Isaiah Hunter. You go down the line, Marquise Watson Trent, Andrew Marshall. But then you get some surprise guys like Jameer Khan. Was probably not a high dollar NIL acquisition, but he's going to play a lot.
Yeah, and you didn't mention the big guys. The big guys are critical. Rocco Spindler, Elijah Pritchett. Now, everybody wonders a little bit about Elijah Pritchett. He's just got to, I mean, I think the kind way to say it, the safe way to say it is you got to do what the coaches ask. And he probably hasn't won the left tackle job yet, but I want to tell you something. First of all, Gunner's a good player, Gunner Gatula, but Elijah Pritchett is, if you're gonna win 10 games, if you're gonna beat the Penn States of the world, you need Pritchett out there.
And there's a considerable investment there too. That, you know, if it's a head-to-head battle and, you know, it's apples to apples, usually the higher price commodity is going to win out.
They won't say that though.
I know, but we all know.
We all know when in doubt, I always say follow the money.
Right. Sean always says
no doubt about it.
Comes from the wire. Follow the money.
Yeah, you're a businessman, Sean.
you got $2 million plus wrapped up in these two guys on the line.
Rocco Spindler
and Elijah Pritchett.
Yeah.
$2 million plus.
Yeah. And that, hey, I'm going to tell you now, they have an offensive line. I mean, when you start discussions about optimism, there's about 4 or 5 places you could start. I'd say 1 or 2 is the offensive line. And I'd say, taking it a step further, the interior offensive line, Evans, Rocco, and Henry Latovsky, now you're looking at like an old school Nebraska line, a real line, a line that will move people consistently. They're a little nasty. They feel really good about those inside guys, and I think the tackles will come around.
And we'll zone in more specifically on the offense next segment.
My bad, Sean.
I want to keep
hijacking segment.
I want to keep it big picture here. Arrowhead Stadium too. Heading down there, this game against Cincinnati. Is it just me? But it's hard to really have a good read on Cincinnati. Like you kind of know who their 4 or 5 dudes are, but even then, there just hasn't been a lot that's come out to really know what this team is going to look like in Arrowhead.
It lost 5 in a row last year, but the last win it's had was against Arizona State.
As you would say, hello.
Yeah. No, they beat Arizona State, and then and they blanked Houston last year. Those 2 scores, they beat Houston 34-0. You put a 0 on anybody, gets your attention. They'll have guys when they come out of the tunnel. When they come out of the tunnel, they'll get your attention. I mean, they're a power 4 team.
Their top line guys are good. They have an all Big 12 defensive tackle in the middle of that defensive line. That's going to test what is now being perceived as one of the
Vito Corleone, is that his name?
Dante
Corleone.
The Godfather.
Not Vito. Not Vito.
You're getting 2 Godfather. That is his nickname. But then they have 2 running backs. They got Tyree Walker from Wisconsin, and they got the Ohio State guy. I'm blanking on his name. Nick might know, but anyway, they got the Pryor kid from Ohio State. So they have 2 Big Ten level running backs in that backfield. They have a freshman or a tight end that broke Travis Kelce's school receiving record for tight end as a true freshman. So, I mean, they've got talent. They got a mobile QB. So they present challenges. My thing is, I think the difference is Nebraska's, say they're top 40 against Cincinnati's top 40. Nebraska's clearly the better team. I think the depth is going to be the difference there.
Do you guys, though, have any idea how loud Arrowhead Stadium is going to be for an 8 p.m. game on that first 3rd down?
Hey, how loud will it be?
Parking lot opens at 3:30, so that's ample time for people to get well prepared for that.
There aren't
guys got to be loud.
There aren't any bars near the stadium. The bar is in the parking lot.
Yeah, that is the bar.
It is going to be juiced, and of the 70+ thousand that are going to be in there, they say 90,000 are going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer to 95,000, 95% Nebraska fans.
95%. Yeah, and what did Dannon say when he talked? He said 66,000 ticket sales, something to that effect, and roughly 6,000 from Ohio or Kentucky zip codes. So if that gives you at least a gauge of where the ticket sales are coming from, it should be a hefty Nebraska crowd.
For Nebraska too, just the way they come out of that game, I'm so intrigued with Dana Holgorsen, his first real play script with a full off season. They're going to come. I mean, if you win that toss, you want the ball.
I think so. I mean, you put it in the hands. Like I said, we feel good about the offensive line. You put it in Dylan's hands and let him go to work. I don't think you'll see anything funky. I just think I think it'll be very clean. And you just like they really emphasize this: make routine play, and big plays will happen. I mean, I thought about it the other day when I was watching video of Amir's run, his catch and run against McNeese State. It's a very routine play. It was just a choice route, beat a linebacker, and then he spun out of a tackle, beat another guy, and he's off to the races. That's the kind of stuff you need. Now, here's the thing: you need guys that can make those plays. And they must feel like they have guys that can make those plays.
I would hope so, because that's what's going to come down to. Like going back to last year, the lack of just guys making plays, playmakers stepping up and winning a one-on-one battle was the difference. Like everyone's talking about the downfield passing. Well, you can only do so much when teams are dropping back and daring you to throw the ball because you can't run the ball consistently. So there's layers to it as far as Nebraska being a more dynamic offense. But I think what it comes down to is when you get a guy the ball in space, he has to make the guy miss and turn a 15-yard gain into a 50-yard touchdown. Like that's going to be the difference.
Yep.
All right, guys, if you're just joining us, we're live here at Zipline in Fallbrook at the Tap Grill location. It's our annual preseason live special. We've got a great crowd on hand. Let's hear you guys.
Good job.
Big packed house here. And guys, I want to shift our focus to offense. But before we get to that, Husker Online Show brought to you by Chubbies, one of our newest partners. And Sipple last night. So first of all, he's wearing one of his new rowback shirts today.
It's a good-looking shirt.
Good-looking shirt. But last night he wore his Chubbies Raiders shirt.
That was pretty loud.
In York, Nebraska. And,
yeah, it was a little obnoxious.
And he was heavily complimented rocking that custom NFL. And Robin's got a Giants one. I got a Chiefs one. Great products at Chubbies. If you've never tried it out, we've got a special for you by simply using the promo code HUSKER. Go to chubbiesshorts.com /Husker. You'll get $10 off your order of Chubbies. Again, that's chubbiesshorts.com /Husker. The promo code's Husker to get $10 off. Thanks to Chubbies, sponsors here on the Husker Online Show, live here at the Zipline Tap and Grill. But let's get into a more in-depth offensive discussion. Let's start the conversation with Dylan Raiola. I think for him, we saw him last year start to run a little bit more. And I'm not saying he's going to be Adrian Martinez, Taylor Martinez, but is he going to be able to get 7 or 8 free yards? I think that is going to be a huge part of this offense for Dylan to have the capability to get those yards when they're there.
I think it will look a little different. He didn't really start to he didn't really go to that part of his game till Ohio State. Remember last year when we took off running, and before that game, we had heard some people say, "Watch Dylan. He's going to run. He's going to run a little bit more now." And there he did. He went. He went. He went on a 40-yard run, or something like that. He's in better shape. I mean, he wasn't in bad shape last year, but man, he emphasizes conditioning. It's not like he's dropped a bunch of weight. He's still 225, 230. He just looks different. It's proportioned a little different. Yeah, I think Sean's right. They'll have him scramble more, and then they'll ask him sometimes just to take off, which wasn't really
nobody respected that last year.
Right.
And that element has to be there, but you got to be smart because you can't have anything to happen to 15. I mean, he is the key to the season. Nebraska will go as far as Dylan Raiola takes them. And so like you want to run like Patrick Mahomes, where like you gain the yards, but you don't take hits. That's going to be the kind of the fine line he's going to walk. If he's going to be more of an active runner and you're going to look for those scramble yards, you better slide, you better get out of bounds, and you better protect that quarterback at all costs.
You're listening here to the Husker Online Shows. We talk more offensive storylines. The backup quarterback spot, it's probably Jalen Gramstad, but will there be an or on that first depth chart with TJ Lateef, or will it be Gramstad too? I think that's probably my biggest question at quarterback right now is how they handle that number 2 job with Gramstad and Lateef.
Yeah, and you said we're going to get a depth chart on Friday?
Maybe. I don't know, okay. But hopefully, yeah.
I gave out some free information there if you notice.
We'll see, but we could get one. The game notes come out, and traditionally when the game notes are released by Nebraska on Friday this week, if there is a depth chart, it's in the game notes. So
yeah, I think what you're getting at is we thought that it was pretty much Gramstad, that he'd be number 2 and that would be it. Then Lateef kind of made a push in August. Now, what the deal? It's really simple. The conversation is pretty simple. Gramstad knows the offense very well. He's 23 years old. He's been around. Lateef is a true freshman. He's got a process. I mean, he's got to process quicker. I mean, before that, I think they fully trust him. I would say if it comes to number 2 right now, it'll be Gramstad because TJ's still learning. He's got a process, and I don't think they would go Gramstad right now.
Do you think there's something to be said about just the situation? So, like, God forbid, knock on wood, everything that like Dylan has to miss extended time. Do you go towards a young guy to let him kind of like integrate himself into that role, or if it's a short-term thing, like he has to get his helmet repaired or something, misses a drive, then you go to Jalen? Like, is it kind of a situational thing where depending on the circumstance of Dylan's absence, the timing of the game, and all that sort of point in the season, will that dictate who the number 2 QB is?
I think what you would do is you'd give Gramstad an opportunity, and if it doesn't look good, then you have to kind of rethink your plan. If you had to get to a 2, and they're like, all right, can we put a diet of playbook together for Lateef to have him be successful?
Yeah,
and that's not easy to do for a true freshman.
No, it's not. So I don't know. It's hard to answer the questions without watching them in practice. That's the other thing. Watching film every day. The key is number 15. I mean, and I think there's no reason in my mind that I can think of that he won't have a much better year statistically, a much better year. Period. We talked We talked about the offensive line. He has that. I think Holgerson is critical in that discussion. Holgerson is here because of Dylan. I mean, there's no doubt about that. If Dylan wasn't here, Holgerson wouldn't be here. Dylan can get Holgerson jobs basically. So Dylan, I think we're going to see something that's much better than last year.
Now, running back, we know Emmett's number one, but I think that it's the number two. Is it Mekhi Nelson outright, or is it an or?
No, it's Mekhi.
It's Mekhi 2, and then you're going to go Isaiah Mosey 3 with a situational role that they're all three going to play. I think we all agree on that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of startling how complimentary the coaching staff is of Isaiah Mosey. Like, they treat him like he is a special talent. Like, they're going out of their way to find ways to get him the football. And I think that had a lot to do with his position move. Like, they're in a loaded receiver room. You need help at running back. You have the talent that can make plays wherever he is on the field when he has the ball in his hands. Let's find ways to get the ball in his hands. So I'm very curious to see what that picture looks like. And don't rule out multiple back sets. They've teased that, where you're going to have 2 or maybe 3 of those guys in the backfield as once. And the receiver options of all 3 of those guys, I think, is going to take the look of that offense to a different level.
All right. Then, as you know, Quentin Ives, kind of the outlier. We heard today he has been practicing, but I didn't pick up any of that from EJ Barthel, that he was going to really have a big role. I just didn't, my feel at least, I can't expect him to be a big part of the Cincinnati game.
He's got to need time. I mean, he got hurt the first practice, but he didn't come back until 2 weeks in, 2.5 weeks in, and he got passed. So now he's sort of, he got shuffled back. They'll need him eventually.
And EJ said the words like, we're going to need him at some point today.
At some point.
And I don't know if that some point is August 28th at 8:00.
But you know how it goes. You often get to 4. I mean, you'll sometimes get to 5. Mm-hmm. But Ives gives you some insurance. I'd say 3 or 4 games in is when you'll start to see him a little bit more.
But as we move it on, the receivers across the board, Robin, I mean, I think this is going to be maybe the most improved position on the team with Dane Key, Isaiah Hunter, Cortez Mills, Ja'Cory Barney with better people around him, Janiron Bonner with more of a defined role. And I think Quinn Clark is going to be maybe that 6th guy that kind of emerges in that group.
Yeah, and let's not rule out the young guys like Cortez Mills. I mean, there's.
Did I not say?
You said it.
Okay. You did. All right. Well, let's make sure. Double it down. But they have versatility. They have talent. And the only thing is, outside of Dane Key, not many of them, and maybe an Isaiah Hunter to an extent, have done it at this level. So, like, you kind of wait. You got to make sure that the Quinn Clarks, the Keelan Smiths, and even the Cortez Mills, like, they're ready for that stage. And I've seen no indication to say that they're not. And if they are, that room is absolutely loaded. Like Dane Key, I mean, I think he could play himself into a potential day 2 draft pick if he has the type of season that Nebraska thinks that he can have. And Isaiah Hunter, he's a physical wide receiver out there on the perimeter. And Ja'Cory Barney, for a guy that did as much as he did last season, he does not get talked about enough in the equation of this offense. He is one of the most dynamic playmakers on this offense. And he might not have the volume, the forced volume that he did last year, but he's going to be a critical piece to everything Nebraska does offensively.
Yeah, Barney's critical. The reason those other guys are ahead of him is because they're more physical. Mm-hmm. Barney weighs at 175. You can't really line him up outside. You got to line him up in the slot. Key and Hunter are physical guys. They're both over 200.
Bonner's physical.
Yeah, Bonner.
I mean, Bonner was like a fullback at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big guy.
Bonner's real physical. Quinn Clark's a big physical guy. The reason that Key and Hunter are your top 2 is because they're more physical than Barney.
I'll say this right now. There will not be blocking issues because Dana Holgerson and Dykeel Shorts will not allow that. I think the perimeter blocking for what Dana does, that old Mike Leach system.
Oh, Hondo.
That blocking, if it's not there, this offense doesn't work. So what we saw last year with some of the blocking issues, I'd be shocked if we see that again.
Yeah, they better hope not, because that held back the offense so much last year. They couldn't do anything on the perimeter because they couldn't block.
What was the stat on the screen plays at Ohio State?
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
It was like 18 screens for 3 yards, or I mean, it was like something ridiculous. Like it was.
The groans from Lincoln could be heard in Columbus that day.
But finally, I want to hit not necessarily tight end because I think we have a good feel for tight end, but offensive line. Do you guys think Elijah Pritchett handles left tackle, Teddy Prohaska right tackle, or does Gunnar Gatula win one of those spots.
I think that if Pritchett, when does class start?
Monday.
Okay, Pritchett's got to get to class. That's one big thing. But Pritchett, I think, will be the starter at Arrowhead. I do. He had a good scrimmage. He had a good scrimmage Saturday. Gunner's good, though. I think they'd be very comfortable with Gunner Gatula. I think Pritchett, though, if you're just talking pure talent, it's not close. I mean, Pritchett's he's a monster. If he realizes his talent, he's a first-round talent. But it's all about realizing it. And I think Teddy will be the right tackle.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But how about the luxury of having a Gunner Gatula as your backup swing tackle, or Turner Corcoran as a backup swing tackle,
and Tyler Knack's your fifth guy.
Yeah, I mean, the depth on the offensive line, I think, is what the real separator is. They went out and got high-level guys like Rocco and Elijah. They've developed some of these guys. Like Teddy's finally healthy. He's playing up to his potential again. So they have all these frontline guys that you really like. But how many times have we seen a guy get hurt and then suddenly they're throwing a redshirt freshman in there against whatever, Ohio State, and it's just like fresh meat for those pass rushers? I don't think you're going to have that this year. And that luxury of just having proven commodities all across the board on the offensive line is going to be a separator from this offensive line compared to several years past.
Give Donovan a lot of credit.
No doubt. The development has been huge.
Yeah, Donovan's in his fourth year. Donovan Raiola, the offensive line coach, fourth year. That's why you got to be patient with assistant coaches. People, when a guy gets hired, everybody wants to know, is he good? Is he good? Give him 3 years.
Well, his first 2 years, he hardly was able to recruit anybody because he got in so late year one, and even year two, they didn't bring any linemen in. So in the coaching change happened with Frost. So I think for Donovan, he's had now time to bring in a couple classes and some transfers. And yeah, I do feel like the O-line and the receivers, along with Dylan, could really elevate this offense to a point that's going to be as improved as any offense in the country.
I think that's very possible. I think it's going to have to, and let's be real, we'll get to the defense, but the offense is going to have to be good. That's what's going to carry the
score
team.
Some points.
Yep.
I mean, you can't expect to win 17-14 every week. They got to score.
All right, you're joining. Thanks again for everyone joining us, not only online. We got over 1,000 live viewers right now. Packed house. You guys are on camera right now. Behind the camera, wave, say hi. We're at Zipline here in Fallbrook Tap and Grill. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, Robin Washut. Thanks to Zipline. And by the way, you can drink Zipline at Memorial Stadium this fall. The Dear Old Nebraska Brew is available stadium-wide as one of the premium beers that will be inside Memorial Stadium. So enjoy that as Robin gives you good product placement.
Product placement.
I'm on it.
We are also brought to you by HelloFresh. Look, kids are back in school. Activities are starting up. You don't got time to grocery shop. You don't have time to cook. You got time for nothing. Well, HelloFresh makes that so much easier for you. They have over 100 different recipes you can pick from. They bring you all the groceries right to your house, the produce, the meats, on easy-to-follow recipe cards. It takes 15, 20-plus minutes on a lot of these great recipes, and they bring it to your house once a week, and you say, look, my family has 4 people. We need 2 meals per week. Whatever the number is, you can order that exact amount, so you're not over-ordering or under-ordering with HelloFresh. It's a great, great product, and we have a special with Husker Online here on the Husker Online Show. We're going to give you 10 free meals at HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM. That 10FM stands for free meals. You'll get 10 free meals plus a free item for the life of your box. Again, thanks to HelloFresh. Check them out at HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM to get that special with the 10 free meals. But let's get into the defense, guys, because I think as we get ready for this game, that's where the questions are. Cincinnati's going to try to run at Nebraska physically. They have a mobile veteran quarterback who has played a lot of football. This is a really tough test for a week one for Nebraska to see a veteran quarterback like they're going to face here in week one.
A veteran quarterback, but I think you said that the most important thing, I think, is that Cincinnati has a head coach in Scott Satterfield that likes to run. I mean, there'll be a physical run team. I think what I'll be writing about on Thursday night is how well Nebraska holds up against the run. Do they hold up against the run? I mean, that'll tell. I think this game will tell us a lot.
Yeah,
I would think Cincinnati would attack.
Yeah, they're hearing all the narratives we're all talking about. We're all hearing about how the defensive line's the biggest question all offseason. And while you've seen some reasons for optimism, I mean, the group looks good. You see guys, across the board, like Riley Van Poppel earning a single digit, Elijah Judah becoming one of the leaders, Cam Lenhart seems to be like elevating his game. Jalen George, we talked about kind of these transfer guys that have come out of nowhere. He just got mentioned again by EJ Barthel about like defensive line guys that have impressed him on the offensive side of the ball.
295.
First guy mentioned was Jalen George. So they've got pieces. Keona Davis. Here's my thing. They have all these players, Williams Nwaneri, of players that have super high potential, but can they live up to it? And if they do, Nebraska can be just fine, because if that star power plays up to their potential, they're going to be pretty good. But if there's going to be some learning curves there, that's why this is the biggest question of the offseason.
Yeah, you look at some of the newcoming pieces, though. Williams Nwaneri, Jalen George, Marquise Watson-Trent, Andrew Marshall, Jameer Khan. There's 5 guys right there that are brand new that we're going to see play a lot in this game.
Yeah, George and Khan are kind of the flavors of the month, if you will. George is huge in this conversation. Robin just mentioned it. It was very telling, I thought, when Barthel was asked about the D-line and started the conversation with Jalen George, who was hurt in the spring, tore a pectoral muscle, didn't practice in the spring, but got going in the summer. And Sean, you mentioned 295 now. Jalen George is a guy to watch closely. Now, he's interesting. He played on Collins High School in Georgia on a state championship team. He was overshadowed by Travis Hunter, but like Dominic was telling me, it's Dominic Raiola, that George was like the star player on that team outside of Hunter. So, and he had 100 tackles as a defensive lineman.
It's amazing he only went to East Tennessee State.
I don't understand that. But then he became an all-conference player at East Tennessee State. He was all-conference. So I'd watch George close. I don't know how Khan factors in. Is he a nickel? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, probably that spot where Malcolm Hartstog was playing a lot last year.
Okay.
I think there's going to be kind of a rearranging of the secondary furniture pieces where you'll see Marquise Buford and Hartstog back further from the action.
Singleton.
You're going to see Deshaun Singleton kind of closer to the fight more. He's going to be in the box more. And obviously you got 2 lockdown corners, Sierra Wright and Andrew Marshall.
Right. Yeah, Sierra Wright. I mean, what I'm told is that Sierra Wright, if you said, okay, who are their best defenders? I hear a lot of Sierra Wright. Sierra Wright, and I heard some Van Poppel the other day. But those guys are really consistent. Now here's the thing. Who's the stars? I don't know who the stars on defense are, but if you're looking for the best players, the most consistent, you might start that conversation with Sierra Wright and maybe Van Poppel. I mean, Van Poppel got a single digit.
Yeah, and that's notable for a young guy like that who redshirted last year to earn the respect of his teammates, to earn that vote. A lot of people say, well, it's just a jersey number. It means something internally. You can think about it what you want, but inside, those players don't take that lightly. No, and Riley Van Poppel has the respect of his teammates to earn one of those single digits without really having done much on the field to back it up. That shows that what his value is off the field and the type of presence he has in the locker room and in the classroom and all that.
Will black shirts be handed out then? I guess, would it be Friday or Saturday?
I would assume sometime this week.
Maybe Thursday.
Game week.
So we'll see how they handle that. That'll be captain voting, black shirts. Matt Rule's never done captains, but I do think you might, the first 2 years he's not had elected I do think you might see captains this year.
They didn't have elected captains the first 2 years. Now, how would it look, do you think?
I think you would have elected captains with an element of a rotating captain with them, like maybe a rotating guy with like the elected guys.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's kind of my read from conversations I've had. So we'll see if that happens. Got a couple super chats I want to get in. Kurt chimes in.
Chats.
Says, good evening, Robin, Sean, Sip, and Abby, ready for the 2025 season with the best show around. This year feels different in a good way. Thank you, Kurt.
Be careful with the name, Sean.
Oh, yeah, shoot.
I think you're good so far.
I'm John O'Reilly. I'm all right there.
You're fine.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, you're fine.
He's got his like real picture on there, unless it's a fake picture.
You just be careful.
Red Ben. Am I all right there?
Yeah, I think so.
You're okay.
Sometimes you get
right. Oh, Sean, you're from South Omaha. I get
it's a trap.
Yeah.
What's the success credit going to be between the offense and the defense? Meaning, if the season's successful, I think the offense. I think if this offense can consistently put up 35 plus points a game, that's going to be hard to beat.
35 plus points would put Nebraska, I bet it'd be close to the top 25 nationally. So I think that's doable. In
the Big Ten, it's hard to be much more than that.
Right, exactly. But no, I think that The formula is it's got to be about 35 a game, and the specials have got to be a lot better. I mean, they have to be a lot better. Now you have a punter that becomes a weapon. That could help the defense a lot.
No doubt.
But I think you got to move the sticks and keep the ball. I think that's why they keep saying emphasize routine plays.
The thing is, for me, it's defense, because if the defensive line can't get off the field and can't stop the run, the offense can't score. So, like, that's the biggest. I mean, again, that's why defensive line and the front seven and stopping the run has been concern, question, whatever you want to call it.
It's about
number one all offseason. And again, they've given us reasons to believe that it'll be better than people think. But until they go out and do it, and they're going to learn a lot. Cincinnati's going to run right at them and see what that defensive front seven's all about. So, come the 28th, we'll get a lot of questions to that biggest question from the entire offseason.
That first, like, 3rd and 2 in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They're going to go right at
what's that going to look like with the crowd noise? I mean, that's where you hope you get a little bit of an edge if you're Nebraska in this game, because that's the loudest stadium on earth.
Right. Oh, that
in terms of decibel
you're
levels.
exactly right. Those short yardage situations early in the game will be critical.
And Husker fans could maybe draw some penalties.
Now, I want to say one thing about the defense, though, Sean. If the defense isn't what you want in game one, that doesn't mean it can't become what you want.
Correct.
Teams evolve. I mean, the good teams get better as the season goes on. We haven't seen that from Nebraska. I think we've almost forgotten what that looks like. But just if the defense is a little shaky early, which I anticipate, that doesn't mean it'll be shaky late. They can get better as the season goes on.
And that 4-man rush, what does that 4-man rush look like? Are they getting to quarterbacks with 4? Or they have to get exotic with blitzes, and that's where you can get into trouble.
They're strong blitzing teams, so we've gotten messages. I mean, I don't know what to make of it, but that we know that they're a strong blitzing team, and we know they're a good man coverage team. Now, what does that mean in the big picture? I don't know, but you know that they have blitzers. I mean, you know what Vincent Shavers looks like blitzing. You know what McCullough looks like coming off the edge. What's going on?
All right. Abby's getting set up for the mailbag. But before
what the hell's going on?
Transition and get Abby. Abby's okay. She's getting set up over there. Kevin Keene, our good friend from Las Vegas.
Wait a second.
Louisiana
chimes in with a super chat. We met him. We saw him at the Golden Steer.
Kevin Keene.
And he said, Sean, Rob, and Sip, Abby, you guys are awesome. Pace yourselves and mix in some cranium with your zip lines.
Oh, God.
Did you bring some craniums? I could use them.
I drank one today, so I'm a little loose right
Fired
now.
up.
Yeah, you are a little loose.
Thank you, Kevin. But you're joining us live here. Thanks again. We got a great crowd on hand. We're out here at Zipline in Fallbrook at the Tap Grill location. It's the HuskerOnline Preseason live show. We did it last year, and we're glad to be back, and we're well more prepared for the crowd this year. This is awesome.
I think this is an equally big crowd, but a much better setup because there's actually space. If you go back to the 56 and Pine Lake one, they were turning people away at the door, if you remember that. There was like 300 people that showed up at a place that had a capacity for like 100. It was crazy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Again, I'm going to keep
much better.
And I like outdoor shows because you can hear, like when you're inside, you get the echoing and the kind of so I do enjoy an outside patio. And this might be one of the best patio settings in Lincoln.
It's high level.
Yeah. Eat some smash burgers.
All special.
And drink what kind of beer, Sip?
We're gonna do Zipline.
Zipline, all right.
Not Coors Light.
Inside show joke there. Sipple
Zipline.
Mistakenly made a mistake.
Did I just get some booze?
Yeah.
Before we bring in
Deservingly so.
Before we bring in Abby Barmore, we're also brought to you by Billings Group, a trio of financial advisors made up of Lance and his two sons-in-law, Josh and Nate. They're based in Salina, Kansas, to help clients across the Midwest and beyond make smart, confident decisions about their money. From your first real paycheck to your final retirement party, Billings Group is here to walk you through the highs and the lows. Billings Group, financial advisors by your side for life's journey. Visit them at billingsgroup.com. Securities offered by registered representatives through private. I choked here. Private client services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives through RFG Advisory. Registered investment advisor RFG Advisory. Billings Group. The private client service unaffiliated entities.
Boom.
That wasn't my best one, but it was close.
Good job, Sean. No, that's all right.
Why do they make these guys do these disclaimers?
You're good at it.
So they don't get sued. That's why.
They don't get sued.
There's a law firm up there, Sean.
Yeah, exactly. They're watching us.
Yeah, they're watching.
But all right, let's welcome into the show the very popular and loved Abby Barmore.
This is what people came for right here.
Right here.
Abby is in the thick of volleyball season. As I'm going to say it right now, she's covering a national championship team right now.
Hello.
Wow, Sean.
Oh, let me get Abby's mic up. Sorry, Abby, you're up now.
Hi, everyone. Yes, we are very excited for volleyball season. It's going to be great.
All right. Well, Abby, we've got a full mailbag. Now, you worked your way around the crowd, right?
Yes,
Thank you,
yeah.
Andy.
I got some questions from the crowd, questions from our interns. So
shout out
let me know if
interns.
they're not good. Just kidding.
Yeah, blame
they're
them.
gonna be great. Okay.
All right.
Are
So
we ready for the first one?
so we were kind of having a Zipline handoff of beers there.
We had to
We're good.
restock.
Got a little stressful there for a
Oh,
second, but
easy, Sean.
where are we going, Abby? Where are you starting us
Okay,
off at?
first one. Which position group does Nebraska need to exceed expectations?
We know that.
D-line.
D-line. Don't overthink it, Sean.
Yeah, D-line. I'm trying to disagree with you guys.
Pick
but
another one.
Don't.
Okay, what about just the
what about
entire-
kicker?
What about the
What about
entire
kicker?
special teams operation?
I would like to see kicker.
How many games did that lose him last year?
Every time they get inside the 30, I want to see 3 points every time.
Yeah. Make it an extra point. Make a field goal. Don't get a punt blocked. Cover a punt.
How
those
about a
things?
snap?
Yeah, how about snap the ball? All those things seem to be markedly better with the people they brought in, and then Mike Eckler is the X factor. Like I don't care like what he's done. Like his energy is so infectious. Like I can't understand how anybody can play for that guy and not just run their head through a wall. He's insane. I love him.
All right, Abby, what do you got next?
Good one.
What is the biggest trap game?
Ooh, Minnesota. Well, Michael Severe, a great listener and friend of our show, he brought up a good point. Nebraska has not won back-to-back road games in a season in back-to-back weeks since 06.
Wonderful.
And so they go to Maryland and Minnesota, and the Minnesota game is on a short week. So I think when you look at that little stretch there, Michael brings up a good point. You can't, number one, Nebraska hasn't won in Minneapolis since Mike Riley was the coach, and I believe that was his first season. So that has been a unkind place in Nebraska, especially at night. And we're going to be there on a Friday night, so that place will be a hard atmosphere. Maryland, you would like to think they could win in Maryland. But it still has a trap feel to it.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'd vote Minnesota. I think that I don't think you can do better in Minnesota as far as a trap.
Yeah,
game.
Minnesota's the answer. Michigan State coming off the bye, especially if Nebraska like takes care of business and they're beating Michigan at home and coming off the bye feeling good about themselves for 2 weeks, they better be ready to play against their team that many people might be overlooking with Michigan State. I don't know how good they're going to be, but like when you're in Big Ten play, you cannot take a week off, and that just got to make sure they're not riding too fat and happy at that point.
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable when we start talking about Nebraska being fat and happy after. I mean, they haven't done anything in years. I
No
mean,
doubt.
They should be hungry every
They
week.
should be.
Yeah.
All right, next question, Abby.
Okay, you mentioned this, but who's your pick for captains if Nebraska names
Oh
four?
God, don't do this to me.
Well,
Are underclassmen eligible? And if they are, I think Dylan Raiola is a captain.
yeah, no brainer.
After Dylan Raiola on offense, like Henry Latosky is a captain. I think those
Look
are
at the media day guys. Singleton.
I'd say Singleton. Robin's right. I think Singleton's a captain. What about Marquise Buford?
Yeah. Dane Key.
Dane. But are you going to give it to a transfer, a new face?
I got a single digit. I don't know.
I just feel like that's dangerous when you give it to a guy that's only been here for less than a year.
What about Javin Wright?
Javen?
Yeah, couldn't you give it to Javin Wright?
7th year senior. Yeah, I mean, he makes some sense.
He's critical. I mean, he's a critical player. Critical.
But yeah, I think Dylan, Latosky, Singleton, those are probably my three.
And then a fourth rotating guy.
Or there could be 4 with a 5th rotating guy. A lot of it depends on the voting and how Matt Rule wants to do it. I mean,
Right.
if they do captains, I do believe you will see captains this year.
Okay.
Keep rolling,
It's a
Abby.
good group.
Okay, who is a guy that you think is under the radar now, but we'll be talking about after the Cincinnati game?
Quinn Clark,
After the Cincinnati game.
Jalen George, we kind of talked about him.
That's the
getting
thing. We
talked
talk about
now.
everybody.
I was gonna say, there's nobody.
This is an all-encompassing show. We kind of break down the whole roster.
Yeah, I think Jalen George is an obvious answer. As this someone who hasn't really come onto the scene until the last 2 or 3 weeks. Khan is certainly that guy too. I look at George much more prominently than I look at Khan. I mean, George could be crucial to a line that needs him bad. Khan, the secondary doesn't need Khan to be great. The defensive line needs George.
Archie Wilson, guys, I know we have high expectations, but could he be even better than we're even like just seeing that live and what he gives Nebraska in the field position game? If he's that good, like you can't put a price tag on what that is for Nebraska if he can punt it the way they're talking right
Could
now.
be a weapon.
Yeah.
Could be a legit weapon.
Have Nebraska fans ever been more excited to see the first punt of the season? I don't know. This is uncharted territory. Just tell Dylan to go 3 and out on the opening drive. Get the people what they
Sandbag
want.
All right, next question, Abby.
Okay, will Dylan Raiola end the season with over 200 rushing yards?
Ooh, that's a lot.
It gets dicey when you start taking sack yards
That's
in there.
a lot.
So I would say it's hard to do that when you don't because of the sack yard.
No, I'm not saying no.
I'm going to say no as well.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be careful with that discussion. We're not saying he's going to become a running quarterback.
Will you have 5 rushing touchdowns? Over under 4, 3.
Yeah. No, I think he'll be more of a threat running, but he's not a running quarterback.
Yeah,
they don't want him to be a running
He'll
quarterback.
run when needed.
Yeah.
Like, again, like I looked at like his mobility. I hate using Patrick Mahomes, but like it's just the most obvious example. Like when he runs, it's a third down to pick an extended drive. Like that's the type of run. It's not going to be volume. It's going to be timing. Situation.
Exactly.
We have one on the super chat here. Mailbag question.
Do it.
From Jacob. Has there been any buzz on Hartzog having to compete for a spot more than expected? Any concern on the linebacker depth?
Hartzog, no, I haven't.
He's still a single-digit guy.
Yeah, he'll be a starting safety.
Yeah,
he'll be the starting safety on the field side. Marquise Buford will be the starting safety on the boundary side. Those guys will be starters.
Sean, you touched on it too. Like with the way they're going to reshuffle that secondary, it's not going to be the 3 high safety that you saw under Tony White, where like a lot of times Hartzog was putting these mismatches physically, where he's out there having to cover a 6'5" wide receiver and just getting completely like just out physicaled. Now he's going to be kind of further back with Buford, where I think he's going to play to his strength. And you remember, he led them in interceptions last year. The guy made more plays on the ball than anybody in that secondary. So I think being in a more comfortable situation, staying out of those bad mismatches is going to do wonders for Malcolm Hartzog.
Any concerns about linebacker depth?
No. I think Shavers and Wright and that group in general. I'm missing a name in there.
Marquise Watson,
those
Trent.
3 with Dawson Merritt the 4th. That's a good group.
Yeah.
Jacob Bauer's
probably the 5th.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's 5.
Yeah, Dawson Merritt.
Well, you only have 2 spots.
He's going to play.
Right.
He's
That's
gonna
what I
play
mean.
a
They
lot.
have depth. They have depth. They're fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. A couple more before we get to the final question. Is Sip wearing a green Rowback golf polo? What's your handicap, Sip?
Well, yes,
I don't play golf.
Humor the crowd. When was your last 18 holes of golf? How many years ago?
1970.
I mean, 20. I played Jim Ager one day.
Jim Ager.
Yeah, that's not an 18-hole course. It was a bet, but I don't play golf. I played as a kid.
Well, you look the part.
Oh, well, thank you,
With your
Rob.
new shirt. I like it.
And then we have one more here for me from Return to Glory podcast. Is Sean in the crowd here? Have you practiced your punt returning yet? And no, I have
Oh
not.
my God, do we have to do that?
I caught the second one. But
You did.
I'm the first person ever to get destroyed by the Huskers.com handle.
Oh,
You know what? But at
You're
least
fine.
you
You're
can
fine.
take it.
Hey,
Other people
it was fun.
couldn't
It was a
take
lot of fun.
Yeah.
But all right, final question, Abby.
Okay, last question. We were able to sample the new concession stands foods today. So what was your favorite?
Ooh,
You can't do the sweet.
so we got to
buffet
try,
thing.
for full disclosure, we tried the premium sweet stuff, and they had crab legs, tomahawk ribeye,
shrimp.
and short
short
ribs.
ribs.
And that was for the premium suite. That's out that we
So
can't.
if you have a sweet, you're going to be eating pretty.
But I would say the corn on the cob stuff was actually really unique. The different toppings. I did like the red bun hamburger, the Omaha Steaks
The
hamburger.
red bun was weird. It looks like you're eating a hamburger with red velvet cake as the bun.
Ooh.
It doesn't taste like it, but it's a weird thing. But we also got to see the new like beer concessions. Like that's a pretty elaborate system right there. And keep in mind, they're going to ID everyone. So whether they said if you're 21 or 81, you're going to have to show an ID. So come prepared.
So don't get mad.
Yeah, don't get mad. I see people at the airport when they get cards. Like, anyway, so like they've got that, and they've got cashless system and all that sort of thing. So it's going to be real high tech and fancy. I'm sure it'll take some getting used to for some people, but they're trying.
Going to the tasting today was not Sipple's scene, but what would be your favorite thing in the stadium?
I'd say pizza. Like I just get a Val's pizza.
What about Coors Light?
Get a Coors Light. Seriously though, what did you like?
Well, I mean,
They had a Reuben with Dorothy Lynch
as the Russian
As the
dressing.
Russian dressing,
Okay,
which
that
I went
sounds
in with
good.
very,
like a cheesesteak Reuben.
Questionable thoughts.
Cheesesteak Reuben.
and it was good.
It was
I thought
good.
it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think
Sean?
year one they're going to be rolling it out a little bit slower,
Mhm.
and then you're going to see by year 2 this thing's going to keep growing. But 121,000 cans of beer will be on hand at the stadium.
Okay.
Should get you through halftime.
All right, let's keep rolling.
All right. Well, Abby, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to be joined by Rick Heyman here in a second here. But before we bring in our friend Rick Heyman from Sauter Heyman to say a few words and talk some Big Ten games, Husker Online Show again. We're at Zipline here in Fallbrook at the Tap and Grill location. Great crowd on hand. We're also brought to you by who, Steve Sipple?
Oh, don't do this to me. Okay, guys, Larson Motors. Larson Motors. If you're looking for a new vehicle, go for a new experience in Nebraska City at Larson Motors. It's one of the Midwest's only dealerships with all the major brands in one location. So finding your new Chevrolet, GMC, Hummer, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram never has been easier. So start your new experience today at LarsonMotorGroup.com or at Larson Motors in Nebraska City. Larson Motors. Now get ready, guys.
Let's say it together now. How's it go, Sipple?
It goes real people,
Real deal.
Good
All
job.
right, that's what we were wanting here tonight. All right, well, is Rick Heyman here? Is he sitting down? All right, come on
There's
in,
the
Rick.
man.
Take a seat. Before we talk some Big Ten, one of our show sponsors here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers in Lincoln, Rick Heyman in the house. Thank you, Rick, for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Rick, what
Rick.
do you think? I mean, are you jacked up for Kansas City in the season?
I'm cranked up. I'm ready to roll. How about you folks?
Yes, sir.
You ready? I just want to thank you guys for having me. You didn't need to do this, and I really appreciate it. And I want to give a shout out to Zipline. This place is incredible.
It is.
Good job. Rick.
I had no idea this was here, and we had a smash burger, and it was fantastic.
I
So
need one.
this is a great place.
really is.
Sherry's here, my wife. She's sitting right over there.
It'd be a great place to
Hi,
hear the
Sherry.
pep band on Friday nights.
Oh, absolutely.
Rick, we appreciate you being
Well,
here.
Rick, and you brought some swag for the crowd. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna pass out some Sauter Heyman hats. If you guys know Sauter Heyman Jewelers, we're a sponsor on the show now. We're trying to get more spots, but they're not that available because this show is so popular. You might know me from with SIP on Thursday mornings for 9 years on early break. So
Yes.
I'm on there every Thursday, and then we sponsor some stuff over there. But SIP and I have known each other for like 30 years, I think.
Yeah, long time.
And we're buddies. And so, yeah, I brought Sauter Heyman hats. I'm going to toss them out. And anybody that wants, we got visors and hats. Please wear them. And no diamonds, unfortunately.
No
tonight.
diamonds.
Unfortunately. Hey, I did meet Jennifer and hubby over here, Sip.
Yes.
And we had a lot to talk about.
The old QB.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Rick, I got to ask you, this Husker jewelry you guys have, I mean, the corn cobs, how popular is that during the fall?
It's really popular. Yeah, and the corn cob deal
Mhm.
is custom made. So you get the corn cob with the little emeralds on it, and then there's earrings and a pendant, and they're custom made by Lori in our shop. You can't find those anywhere else.
Nice.
And the same with the Husker outline, the state, where you see the actual state, and then there's a little ruby where the city of Lincoln is, and those come in sterling silver and gold, and they're anywhere from like 149 up to 400 or 500. But again, these are one of a kind. These are not things you're going to get at the typical Husker shop that's selling jewelry. So we'd appreciate it if you guys come in it or get them online. If you use the code HuskerOnline to get 10% off. So yeah, we're fired up for this season. We think it's going to be a real breakthrough season, and we're really happy to be partnered up with you guys. So,
Well, Rick, thank you for coming out. It's
Awesome.
my wife's
Yeah,
birthday
thanks,
on
Rick.
August 31st. I'm going to maybe be finding you about getting one of those things.
okay,
Use the promo code Husker Online.
Husker Online.
Husker Online.
Yeah.
Get
Well, thanks to
10%
Rick
off.
Heyman, and he's going to throw and hand out some hats to the
Thank
crowd.
you, guys.
All right.
They're nice hats.
All right. Well, let's close the discussion here, guys. Final segment, Big Ten. And I think when you look at the Big Ten right now, there's three teams clearly ahead of the pack: Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon. And Penn State is slightly ahead of Ohio State because of the quarterback questions and some of the other questions in Columbus, but they're the defending national champs. After those three teams, I think it's a real good debate. Who are teams 4, 5, and 6?
Well, I mean, Sean, I got to put Michigan 4. I mean, in Michigan is generally what's going on. Michigan is generally the pick for 4. But Michigan is young in some key spots. But when they trot out, it'll look really good, and they'll be much better at quarterback this year.
I still, Illinois, it feels like
Illinois would be good
people
too.
have cooled off on them, though. It's weird. Like, they haven't gotten, I feel like the projections and numbers you see on Illinois have cooled off a little bit, but I still think they could easily be a 9-win plus team.
They're good up front, and they got a returning quarterback. And the thing that always scares you about Illinois is the way Bielema teams play.
Yeah.
And they are good up front on both sides. And you can't emphasize enough their quarterback. I mean, they have a vet. Luke Altmaier's a veteran quarterback. He's steady. He runs the offense very well. Sean, come on, it's either Illinois or Michigan, right?
Yeah,
For number 4.
Well, and Michigan's a wild card. You have Sharon Moore out, Robin, for games 3 and 4. One of those is in Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
You have Bryce Underwood, probably the starting quarterback. They haven't named him yet, to my knowledge, but he's expected to be the starting quarterback. And then you've got a lot of guys on the defense they lost. So I think we're giving Michigan this Jim Harbaugh boost, and Jim Harbaugh's not there anymore. Connor Stalions not there anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a different deal.
Yeah, they're going to lean on something better than cheating for a little bit, so we'll see how that goes for them. But they lost. I think that's not getting talked about enough. How much they lost on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, you got the premier quarterback in the country last year that you paid a lot of money for. So that is getting all the headlines, but they lost so much up front. We talk about Nebraska's defensive line and what they have to replace. Michigan's probably even tenfold beyond that. Now, maybe they're in a better reload situation than Nebraska is, but they've got a lot to prove. And that game down in Norman, I think, is going to tell a lot about just how big that Nebraska-Michigan game for the Big Ten opener is actually going to be.
Strone will be in Norman.
Yes, he will.
He'll be in Norman, and that's a road game. But, Michigan only plays 6 home games this year. It's a really odd schedule quirk by them that they're on the road 6 times, which for a major blue blood program, that's unheard of.
Kind of odd.
Okay. I don't understand. All because of the Oklahoma series, but Nebraska would never only play 6 home games in a year.
Can I sell you USC as number 4?
I think so. They went all in.
They did.
They're a senior loaded team, and they said, you know what? We're going to go all in for Lincoln Riley because getting this figured out is going to be cheaper than firing Lincoln Riley. We cannot afford to pay Lincoln Riley $80 million, then go pay another guy $80 million.
Yeah, they did go all in, and they'll have skill like they always have.
Jaden Maeva's kind of a
wild card.
He could be really good or turnover prone.
Turnover prone is the issue.
How are we feeling about Iowa and Indiana?
So I saw Iowa today projected at 10-2.
I know,
and there's a lot of 10-2, 9-3 for Iowa.
It's because they're scheduled.
And Gronowski.
And
they have a real quarterback.
At least they think so.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's just
no, he's good.
He's good.
We'll see.
But he's coming off injury, and he's never.
People thought Cade McNamara was going to be good. Look how that turned out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Cade McNamara, played for the national title.
He did. And
he
then
did.
what?
Well, to be fair to McNamara, he did get hurt.
He did.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is Gronowski's got hurt too. And they
Robin hates the Hawks.
There's a clip of them throwing a 5-yard out, and Iowa fans are acting like it's like Joe Montana. What are we doing?
Remember Deacon? The quarterback stuff they've dealt with, like Deacon Hill. Was that his name? Deacon Hill?
It was Deacon Hill.
Oh.
And they still beat Nebraska.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
That's we're saying
Change
this.
the subject, please.
The Iowa podcast guys are going to clip us and be like,
we're fine. We're used to it.
No.
But all right. Some super chats I want to work in here.
Do.
Thanks to Jacob for his super chats here. What do you need to see from the offense to deem the Holgorsen experience a success? I'm excited for another season of Sean's name bugaboos.
I am too. Are you okay on that one, by the way?
Hey,
you're okay on that one.
Yeah.
We make money on the bugaboos. So I'm a businessman first, right?
Yeah. Well, what you want to see from Holgorsen's offense? Cut down turnovers, a smooth operation, something that maximizes the immense talent of the quarterback.
Yeah.
Which that's what it'll be.
Yeah, I want to see Dylan comfortable. If Dylan's comfortable with the playmakers that he has around him, that thing should be humming. And so, that's the whole process going back to last season. They wanted to simplify it. I think they were doing too much with all the motions,
100.
all the trick plays, all the gadgets, all that sort of thing. Just run your offense. And now I think that it can't be talked about enough, the value of an entire offseason with Dylan and Dana working side by side, learning and understanding each other on and off the field. If that comfort level with Dylan is there, this offense is going to be just fine.
Yeah, and Marcus Satterfield, you just think about all the things he dealt with the first year with the quarterback issues and having to run the option essentially. And it's just the first 2 years, for Marcus Satterfield were rough. I mean, just having to manage the different things they dealt with. And now Dana Holgerson, you hope, will bring stability.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you said that. Satterfield wasn't dealt a very good hand. You know, if you look at the first offense that he had, the receiver group was nothing compared.
I mean, Billy Kemp was their number one.
Right. I mean, and Billy Kemp wouldn't be.
He'd be their sixth right now, probably.
He'd be number 6. So, I mean, and that's nothing against Billy Kemp. It's not his fault. But that's a good point, Sean. He'd be about 6. That's good perspective.
And, you know,
and a play caller can only do so much.
Anthony Grant was their starting running back. I mean, the team has improved a lot.
Yeah, I would say this about you guys. We saw the open practice, and we've seen open practice. We saw a whole open practice. I'd say the roster is much better. I don't think it's where it needs to be to win a Big Ten title right now, obviously, but I think it's getting there. It's clearly better.
One final super chat here from Sipple's Mando Stick. Get my main man Sipple a Zip Light and an old fashioned. All right, that's a good way to end the show.
That's a good way to end it. Yeah, thank you.
Well, guys, we appreciate everybody that came out tonight for our second annual preseason live special at Zipline. Our plan is to be back again for a bye week show in September. So we want to be back again on a bye week. So that will be our next live show. But again, thanks to Fallbrook here for hosting us at the Zipline Tap Grill location. For Abby Barmore, Robin Washut, Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan signing off here for the HuskerOnline Show.